Welcome to the recording for the official sample paper 2 for ITIL Service version 5. And after reading out each question, I will pause for a few moments so that it gives you time to reflect, think, and see what your answer is. And eventually, I will be explaining the correct answer. And of course, pointing out the correct answer first. So here we go with the first question. A retail bank launches a new mobile banking application. Service quality is assessed based on customers being able to complete core banking tasks successfully, the service meeting availability and security targets, and application being clear and easy to use. Which service value characteristic is not demonstrated in this scenario? A. Utility. B. Warranty. C. Experience. D. Sustainability. For this, you have to understand all the four characteristics of a service: utility, warranty, experience, and sustainability. So in the question, we can see that the customers being able to complete core banking tasks successfully. This is about the functionality. So that is utility, fitness for purpose. The service does what the consumer needs it to do. Then it also has the service meeting availability and security targets. These are the core elements of warranty or fitness for use. The service is available, secure, and reliable to the agreed standard. And the application being clear and easy to use, that is about the experience. It's about how the service is perceived during the interaction. So sustainability is not demonstrated in the question. And therefore D, the last choice, would be correct. And that's about um, environmental, social, or long-term economic responsibility. The service is delivered responsibly, considering economic efficiency, resource use, and environmental and social impacts across the life cycle. The second question. A software company creates a standardized customer analytics product sold to multiple industries. During early planning, the team analyzes market trends, competitor offerings, and decides which product lines should be enhanced or retired. What is the primary concern of this organization at this activity of the product and service lifecycle? A. How the product portfolio should evolve to remain relevant. B. How services will be delivered and supported for customers. C. Integrating the product into customer-specific environments. D. Restoring normal service operation after disruptions. So for this question, you need to recollect the purposes of the 8 lifecycle activities, beginning with discover, ending with support. So choice A, how the product portfolio should evolve to remain relevant, that is correct because the question describes the early planning activities such as the analyzing the market trends, competitor offerings, and which product lines should be enhanced or retired. Therefore, this is aligning with the portfolio level concerns in the discover activity. It is about which products to keep, create, or retire. Now, choice B, how services will be delivered and supported for customers. These are happening later in the life cycle. This is about the deliver and support activities. Then choice C, integrating the product into customer specific environment. This is connected with the build and transition. Then the last choice D, restoring normal service operation after disruptions. This is the support activity. A further clarification to be how services will be delivered and supported for customers, even though delivery and support will actually happen in the deliver and support activities of the life cycle. However, the concerns regarding these two will be uh, required much earlier. For example, during design, acquire, transition, and these three areas. And the actual delivery and support will happen in the delivery and the deliver and support activities. The third question. A digital service provider invests heavily in advanced infrastructure, but customer satisfaction remains low because frontline staff struggle to resolve issues and teams rarely communicate across functions. Which of the four dimensions of product and service management the service provider should consider for improving value for customer? A. Information and technology. B. Partners and suppliers. C. Organizations and people. D. Value streams and processes. So the question indicates that there is already investment in advanced infrastructure. So choice A is taken care of, information and technology. And but the support staff are struggling. So it's about the people dimension. And these are the frontline support staff, and there is no indication that these are external suppliers. Therefore, it cannot be B either. Therefore, C would be correct, organizations and people, because it is about the frontline staff struggling to resolve issues and poor cross-team communication. A choice D, therefore, for the same reason, incorrect, because we do not see anything about inefficient processes. Next, question number 4. Software developer creates service components for new customer self-service portal by configuring applications, integrating tools, performing testing, and packaging the components so they are ready for deployment into the live environment. Which service lifecycle management activity is being performed by the developer? A. Transition. B. Build. C. Support. D. Operate. Choice A, transition, would be incorrect because the transition is about seamlessly introducing new or updated products and services into operational or live environments. And so therefore, transition will require already built solutions and then move them into the live environment, but not to create or package them. Whereas in the question, it's about creating things that are ready for deployment into the live environment. So transition has not started, so it should be built. Therefore, choice B would be correct. This is where the build activity develops, integrates, and tests digital products and services, transforming designs into functional solutions. And the scenario or the question describes configuring applications, integrating tools, performing testing, and packaging components. So they are ready for deployment. So these are all core tasks or elements of the build activity. Choice C, support, is incorrect because that is about resolving incidents and restoring services after the issues occur, and not about creating or testing new service components. Similarly, D, operate, is also incorrect because that focuses on running and monitoring services that are live, not to build or prepare them for the development, post-development, which is the deployment and transition. Question number 5. An organization is preparing to introduce a new digital service into its live environment. The team plans a controlled rollout, updates configuration records, trains support staff, sets up enhanced monitoring, and communicates changes and support arrangements to users before go live. Which service lifecycle management activity is best described in this scenario? A. Design. B. Build. C. Transition. D. Deliver. There are some good clues in the question. Preparing to introduce a new digital service into its live environment. So it should be transition. And the team is planning a controlled rollout, updates config records, trains the support staff, sets up enhanced monitoring, communicates changes. These are the steps of the transition workflow or the process. Whereas choice A, design, is about creating specifications and blueprints, not moving or rolling services to the live environment or preparing users and support teams. And choice B, build, is about developing, integrating, and testing solutions. So that is also incorrect. Choice C, transition, would be correct because Transition seamlessly introduces new or updated products and services into the operational environments and also ensures the effective onboarding or offboarding of the suppliers. So, and we can see in the question that it describes control rollout, configuration updates, staff training, enhanced monitoring, and communication before the go live. These are all parts of transition. Last choice D, deliver, is incorrect because that is about fulfilling service requests and providing services after go live, not preparing for deployment. Because deliver provides products and services to users, manages the user onboarding or offboarding, maintains service quality standards, and gathers consumer feedback. Number 6, a service provider supports several digital services developed by internal teams and external vendors. New features are released frequently, but service teams experience unclear handovers, limited operational readiness, supply-related service impacts, and recurring incidents after releases. Issues identified during live operation rarely influence future design or planning decisions. Which option best describes the primary service management challenge across the ITIL product and service life cycle management activities in this scenario? A, difficulty in delivering new functionality quickly due to excessive governance control. B, lack of end-to-end alignment and feedback between life cycle management activities. C, over-reliance on service desk processes instead of automation and self-service. D, inability to define service level targets because products are developed by external vendors. So in the question, we can note clearly that the features are released frequently, but the handovers are unclear. Operational readiness is limited. There are supply-related service impacts, recurring incidents after releases, and issues that happen during live do not influence future design or planning decisions, or they rarely do. Therefore, choice A, difficulty in delivering new functionality quickly, this is not correct because um, there are frequent releases happening and there is no delivery slowness due to heavy governance. Choice B, lack of end-to-end alignment and feedback between the lifecycle management activities. That would be correct. We can see that clearly in the question. Because there is poor handover, limited readiness, supplier impacts, recurring incidents after release, and absence of feedback from live operation into future design and planning. So this is all related to weak lifecycle integration. In fact, an operating model should include all product and service management activities within the organization's scope of responsibility aligned with the purpose and business model of the organization. Choice C, over reliance on service desk process instead of automation and self-service. Now, there will be some automation happening, but we do not see any issue related to service desk overload. It's more about the life cycle linkages missing and the non-existence or limited existence of feedback loops. They might have used automation because the features are released frequently. So, and choice D, inability to define service level targets because products are developed by external vendors. Even in such a case, service providers will remain accountable for the service quality with their consumers or for their consumers, even when products are sourced externally. Because service providers depend on vendor operated cloud components for core functionality, but they have to manage their delivery commitments around that to their consumers. So D is also incorrect. Next, question number 7. A service provider is reviewing an existing digital service to decide whether it should be enhanced, repositioned, or retired. Stakeholder groups express conflicting views about value, priorities, and future direction. Before identifying opportunities or committing to deeper analysis, the provider needs shared understanding of expectations and desired outcomes. Which management practice most effectively enables the discover activity in this situation? A, relationship management by facilitating structured engagement to surface perspectives and align expectations across stakeholders. B, business analysis by organizing stakeholder inputs to document needs, constraints, and assumptions for later evaluation. C, strategy management by reviewing how the service aligns with organizational goals and positioning over the longer term, or D, risk management by examining uncertainties and trade-offs to inform decisions about potential future options. One of the key phrases in the question is stakeholder groups express conflicting views about value, priorities, and future direction. And before the service provider can identify opportunities or commit to deeper analysis, there has to be this shared understanding of expectations and desired outcomes where they are having a conflict. Therefore, choice A would be correct. Relationship management by facilitating structured engagement to surface perspectives and align expectations across stakeholders. Because relationship management will identify the key stakeholders, defining, agreeing, and communicating the organization's approach to the stakeholder management. And in the scenario or the question, there is conflict between the stakeholder views and therefore the need for shared understanding of expectations before identifying opportunities or doing deeper analysis. And relationship management exists mainly to align stakeholders and surface perspectives during the discover. Choice B, business analysis. This will structure and document the needs, but it assumes stakeholder inputs already exist. But here we have misalignment. Business analysis will be defining the stakeholder needs and requirements. So B is incorrect. Choice C, strategy management, also incorrect because that will define, agree, and communicate the organization's product and service strategy. I mean, it addresses organization direction, but not resolve conflicting stakeholder expectations at the service level during the discovery. Risk management, choice D, is also incorrect because it is about defining, agreeing, and communicating the organization's risk appetite and risk management approach. So it mainly evaluates uncertainty after the direction and expectations are clear and does not resolve stakeholder disagreement. Question number 8. This will require you to refer to the ITIL car rental scenario for additional context for the HR management service. During a series of cross-regional workshops, the ICR leadership team reviewed regulatory updates, customer usage data, and feedback from recent digital pilots. Based on these insights, they reached a shared understanding of what the organization should focus on and documented clear objectives to guide upcoming service changes. Several potential initiatives have been emerged or emerging, ranging from enhancing mobile booking features to preparing services for new mobility regulations. What should ICR do next? A, update and communicate changes to the service roadmap so all stakeholders are informed. B, evaluate and prioritize the identified initiatives and assign resources accordingly. C, begin defining detailed service specifications for the initiatives that may be taken forward. D, gather additional external market and industry information to reconfirm organizational context. So the review has already happened for the regulatory updates, customer usage data, feedback from recent digital pilots. Afterwards, they also reached a shared understanding or there was agreement of what they should focus on next and documented the clear objectives to guide the upcoming service changes. And many initiatives already emerged ranging from enhancing mobile booking features to preparing services for new mobility regulations. So therefore, choice A, update and communicate changes to the service roadmap. This is incorrect because this will be happening later on after the priorities and resource allocation decisions have been made. And that has not occurred yet. The prioritization and allocation have not yet occurred. So A is incorrect. Choice B, evaluate and prioritize the identified initiatives and assign resources accordingly. So this is what needs to be done now because service direction and objectives have been agreed. So actions should be to prioritize and uh, prioritize them and allocate resources. Then afterwards, the communicate will happen. So B would be correct. Then choice C, begin defining detailed service specifications for the initiatives. This is from the design stage, not even discover. Choice D, gather additional external market and industry information to reconfirm organizational context. This is the already done in the question. So the context review, regulatory updates, customer usage data, pilot feedback, those things already done.